Yo, what's going on YouTubers, gamers, hobbyists, and everyone. It's Monday, so it's time for another episode of P&Q. This is the Ask Me Anything About Anything series, where you get to ask me anything about anything. Either a question, make a comment. Sometimes I'll answer them with a decent answer. Maybe. Anyway. You can do this one of two ways. You can email me at miniwarzone@gmail.com, and I'll put a link in the video description below. Excuse me, my nose is playing up. Or you can leave your comments or questions down below in the comment section below this video. Anyway, I'm a little bit wiped out today because, as you know, I went to Salute on Saturday. And things like that usually take about 24 hours to 48 hours to catch up with me. Then my body starts, what's the word, paying me back, as it were. And so if I'm not quite with it, I do apologise. But I will do my best to get through this, because if you've been following the series, you know we're up to 30, well, I don't know, whatever it is, chasing 40 episodes now of P&Q. Since I started, that's been going out every week without fail, every Monday, and I think that's pretty good. It's you know, it's kind of evolving as time goes by, and you know, other things come up with that, and it's good to get ideas and so on. And I've only got the 2 emails this week. 2. One was only today or early this morning. So up until then I was thinking I've only got the 1 email, but that's fine. I'll do the emails first because they're short, and then I'll go on to the comments that were left below last week. So first email, and I've got a cup of coffee here. But before we start on that, let's have a quick news about Salute. It was really awesome. Had a great time, met a few people there, and I'm so glad I went. It was a really good experience. A long journey though for me. Yes, train drive. Although apparently you might be able to drive to Exeter and then get a plane to London. So that could be a possibility for a future endeavour. But anyway, getting back to P&Q. First email simply says, "Why is my name Jankmaster?" Wonder who that's from. Why is your name Jankmaster? Because you're the master of Jank? Isn't Jank a word for used for anything? Can be used for anything, so that would technically make you the master of anything. The only other thing I can think it could mean is Jankers, which was that the British military punishment for those who committed military offences? So your armies could be dishing out justice to those that need it, kind of like a Judge Dredd kind of thing, or am I reading too much into it? Heck, I don't know. Why is your name Jankmaster? It's a good name though. Moving on to the second email I had this morning. "Hi Pete, nice channel you have here, and I like the overall ethos of it, but I would like to ask, what is the purpose of your P&Q series? Keep up the good work, and as you said on your Salute video, all brushes lead to war." Well, if you've seen my early P&Qs, probably my first episode, it tells you there what it's about. The purpose of it is to try and, I don't know, build a kind of relationship with my subscribers, as it were. You know, get to know one another. You can get to know a little bit about me, and through little bits of interaction I can get to know a little bits about you. It makes it a little bit more, I don't know, subscriber friendly. Yeah, I just because when I met a couple of you at Salute, it was I kind of felt like I knew you already. It was really weird. It's like, although I'd never met you before in my life, I felt like I was meeting like an old friend I'd not met, I'd not met up with for years or something like that. But yeah, So that's why, just to build a kind of relationship with my audience, really. And so far, I think it's working quite well. And not only that, they're great. These question and answer series that people are doing, and a lot of more people are doing them now, because they're very popular, and with good reason. Because I like to listen to someone's question and answer session. I mean, Scardcast has just started one recently. So the more people are doing it, the more you get to know each other a little bit, or sometimes someone's response to a question that you thought, oh, they probably think such and such about this question, and they come up with a completely different answer. It's kind of like, oh, right, I didn't. All right, you think so? That's what you think, okay? And the way you're trying to work out the way some people's minds tick, that's kind of cool, and it's good fun, and they're easy to make. No, for me, I just do the raw videos, no editing, because sometimes I like video editing. Don't get me wrong. But for this, it's nice to have one where you just sit down, turn on the camera, and yeah, this is what it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to wake up here. And it could be here. So moving on to the comments that were left from last week. Excuse me. It says, great vid. Hopefully I will see you at Salute. I will be on the Help for Heroes raffle stand. And I did see you briefly, and I'm really sorry. I fully intended to come back and see you again, because what my plan was to go around every stall just to see what they had, and then work out where I wanted to go back to. Make my purchases. Speak to the people I wanted to. And then I could go home. But it was so vast, and it was awkward to get to some stalls, and it was so huge. It took me a long time. I hadn't made a single purchase for about 1 or 2 hours. I think I must buy something soon. That's what I came for. And I'm thinking, well, time's cracking on here. If I'm not careful, I'm going to get caught short, and I'm going to have to just go home empty-handed. No, that was not going to happen. And as you will see, it didn't. But yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. I swear it was my intention to come back. I even said to my friend Ralph, I said, I've got to go back to the Help for Heroes stand. I thought, I don't want to seem rude or anything. But at least it was good to finally just meet you, shake your hand, and we didn't exchange many words. But like I said, I felt like I know you already, and I'm getting to know you better through your videos, through the interaction. And this is what's great about these kind of series that people are doing. If I was to meet, I don't know. Well, I can't even think off the top of my head, but there's several of you doing these now. And if I was to meet any one of you now, I would feel I would know you a bit better, and you'd feel like an old friend. And I just think it's great. So, what else do you say? You say, so Zulu is your favourite film? Yes, it is. But who's your favourite actor and actress? Ooh. Now, if you mean from the film Zulu, then my favourite actor is Michael Caine, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm not very good with names. The guy that plays the sergeant, with the big moustache and sideburns and that. The one that's also in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, plays the mad professor. That guy. So him and Michael Caine, they're my two favourite actors in that film. There was only one actress in that film, wasn't there? I can't think of her name. She didn't really impress me that much. But other than that, outside of that, who's my favourite actor and actress? Don't really have one. It depends on the film. It's just sometimes I can watch a film that I've never heard of. I think it's amazing, and the actors I've never heard of. I think they're brilliant. Other times I can watch really well-known ones in films and think, well, no, I didn't really like it. So I can't tell you who my favourite actor and actress is, because I don't really have one. But I do have an actor I really don't like, and I just can't watch his films, and that's George Clooney. So boring. I just can't abide his films. Yeah. So yeah, okay. Thank you for your question though, Nick. Right, Gotham Armed Service says, I'm blown away with how many paints you've amassed in the time you've been collecting. I've got a couple of more at Salute. Yeah, not too many. They're going quite cheap, so it's got a couple more. Question. I know nothing about military history, so can you offer justifications as to why armies in 40k would deploy against each other as they do? No, are you meaning how they deploy on the table? Alright, let's read the rest of the question and come back to it. I love how the table looks with both armies set up, but it always niggles me that with all the technology, planetary anomalies and warp goodness, that it ever gets to a point where two armies are facing each other as they do. Do you mean, I'm taking it that you mean, so we supposedly have evolved to a point where, you know, we've got beyond war. Well, fluff-wise, there are an infinite number of reasons why armies face each other as they do. Plus it's a war game created by ourselves, human beings, who, although we evolve in our technology, we really evolve in our warfare too. And we are kind of we seem to be made to destroy ourselves and our planet and everything around us. It's just in our nature. So it would stand to reason that we make games that do the same thing. Story wise, yeah, I just think they're looking for, it's just conquest, isn't it? And that's what it's all about. They want to rule the galaxy, and I don't care what any one army stands for. They would be quite happy to be the rulers, the ultimate rulers of everything. But obviously others have that idea as well. I'm not answering this very well. I am in my head, but it's not coming out right. I mean, some people, they just hate. They just hate for no reason. There's always going to be good and evil, and one will always try and outbalance the other, and that's always going to be a bad thing. You have to have a neutral, really. You have to keep the balance. That's what the war is all about, just keeping the balance. Otherwise you are dominated by one or the other, and neither one really is a good result. Sorry, listen to myself. That's a bit of a crap answer, isn't it? But there it is. Pancake Painy Pain says, looking at Samurai myself, though massed battles, using pike and shot rolls. Nice one. That's cool. I got some more Samurai and Ronin figures at Salute. So looking forward to painting them up. There'll be some on the benches for those. Pike and shot rules. I've seen that. I haven't looked at it. I don't know what they're like. But I'm guessing, I've not heard anything bad about them, so I'm guessing they're pretty cool. So nice one, and I'd be very interested to see how that works out using those rules, because it's always good to have like another mechanic of doing stuff, isn't it? Like if you every set of rules seems to have a certain game mechanic and an area or a point that's a little bit niggly or a point of contention, and another set of rules seems to have something that would compensate for that or overcomes that, but they have another area of interest, shall we say. So yeah, I'll be interested to know how you get on with that. Paul Alba says, interesting stuff. Seems everyone is into Zombicide at the moment. Zulu is my brother's favourite. Yeah, I wonder if you have like a zombie Zulu army. That'd be funny. Yeah, I've, as you may or may not know, I've finished painting my Toxic City Mall set, so I'll be introducing those models soon. I've started the dog companions for Zombicide, although I haven't got the zombie dogs, just the normal dogs. There's only 6 models to paint for that, so that won't take long. Then I'm kind of going to step back a little bit from Zombicide painting, not playing, but painting, so I can concentrate on other stuff. Otherwise people will get a bit fed up with seeing zombies all the time. I love it, but I'm just trying to keep it a bit varied. But yeah, Zombicide, cracking game. Crew Orange Lucilius. I'll call you Mike. It's easier. It said see you there. I mean, I take it you mean it, the salute, because bumped into you briefly, didn't I? You had a Zombicide prison outbreak box under your arm. I know it was a Zombicide something or another. You're gonna love it. James on his stuff says, great vid, you tackled the hard hitting issues. Pete, Dino, in brackets, Raptor versus Space Marine, who wins? Well, depends. If it's unarmed combat, hand to hand, I would say that the Raptor would win. Just. I know there would be exceptions, but as you're taking but overall, if you took say 100 Space Marines and 100 Raptors, the majority of wins I think would come from the Raptors. Just. I'd say 7 out of 10 Raptors would beat Space Marine unarmed. But put a weapon in his hand, any weapon, melee or shooting, anything, then I think the Space Marine will win. I think he would win with ease. Yeah, I think so. Definitely, yeah. I've been trying to visualise it in my mind, and I've had certain fight scenes going through my head about the Space Marine and the Raptor. I think if he did a kind of Steve Irwin and leapt up behind him and just sort of held his top jaw open, because I mean they can't move that way, can they? They can only snap. So just held his top jaw and just kind of pulled it to one side, or snapped his bottom jaw. I think that's the way he would do it. Or rip out his throat. Either works. But I'd say unarmed, the Raptor. 7 out of 10 Raptors would beat a Space Marine. Put a weapon in a Space Marine's hand, even something as simple as crude as a club, and I think the Space Marine will win every time. Moving on. The Jankmaster says, I'm going to go with the Woodchuck. This is from last week. The heretics would see the Space Marine coming and possibly run. Meanwhile, they might cuddle up with the Woodchuck until he bares his fangs for the Emperor, and then it's too late. Any heretics that would escape the teeth of fury would likely be reduced to gibbering madmen, and not convey a sense of danger to his cohorts. Thus, no warning be sent. Golden Gopher be praised. Good. Like it. You have a point there. Possibly that would be the way it would work out. And finally, the last question or comment is from the Lone Ranger, and he says, great vid, mate. How do the dog companions work in game though? Well, the Zombicide ones, I've only quickly just looked at it. There's not many rules to it, but I only just skimmed through it. Basically, you can use them either as equipment, because they're on equipment cards, so you could mix them up in the equipment deck, and then as you search rooms or wherever, you might come across the dog that way. Or you can start the games with the dogs and have them on you. You can put the card in your equipment slot, but they don't take up an equipment slot, and the reason for that is well, 2 of them can carry an item of equipment. One of them can't, but they all give you plus in melee. 2 of them give you +1, and the other one gives you +2 because he can't carry an item. He's just a different type of dog. So, and it costs you an action to command the dog. So yeah, move, but they move at 3 zones, I believe it is, because they're quite fast. They can run. So you could command them to do that. Go, I'm guessing, create a distraction, noise, bark, or simply keep them with you and attack with you. I mean, that would be quite handy, giving you +1 in melee. I think, what with the toxic rules, gonna need all the help we can get, because if you don't know, in toxic zombie fighting, if you kill a toxic zombie, he wounds you in melee. If you're in the same zone, his toxic blood splatter, or whatever the reason behind it is, causes you a wound. Although you can get an item of equipment, or a couple of items of equipment, that prevent this, but generally speaking, you need to be shooting the toxic zombies. But having a dog would help, I think, maybe to distract them to another zone over, so you could then shoot them. I mean, you know, it depends if you want to keep your dog or not, but just to use them as a sort of tactic, so that your human or humanoid survivors escape is actually. I mean, you want to keep the dog as well. They're classed as survivors as well, because they just are. They've come to really side with the people that are left alive. And but there are zombie dogs as well, and there's crows and all sorts of things as well, which I will get around to getting. I will get eventually everything to do with it, but I'm kind of spent out now for a while. So, but I've got enough to do to keep me going for a lifetime at the moment. But I'm rambling on here like a blithering idiot, so I should be drawing this to a close. Thanks everyone for your comments, questions. Don't forget, you can email me at miniwarzone@gmail.com if you rather remain anonymous, or just pop your comment or question below. It will be responded to next Monday. So until then, I will just say happy wargaming, and remember, all brushes lead to war.